I learned from it. People use natural resources to make what? Buildings, bridges, roads, machinery, vehicles, and which are the known as human-made resources. Very simple, because these are all available in our surroundings. So we can be take the examples from them. Technology is also the made of resources, but it is made from humans. Next thing, there is a quotation for you. So the people like us natural resources to make the human made resources. So said the Mona, nodding in understanding. Yes, said Raju. Raju said this. Yes, of course, Mona. That is right. Human resources, what kind of the resources? So people can take the best use of nature to create more resources. So how is it possible? Because we are the consuming more and more. When they have the knowledge, skills and the ideas, so that the peoples can use too many the things from the nature, and also it is changing their structures and form, and also they are using in the major quantity. Let's do this is given in the right side of your page. Make a list of the 5 human the made resources that you can observe around you. Of course we can make. Do you know human resource? Of course we are know, but let's try to know from here. Refers to the number, means quantity, and abilities like mentals and the physical of the people. Though they are the differing the views regarding the treatment of the humans as a resource. One cannot be denied the fact that it is the skills of the human that helps the transforming the physical materials into valuable resources. Wow. So what is the theme of these lines? Of course, that's right. So let's move on to listen once again. Of course, sir. Like human resource refers to the number, means quality. Our abilities means mental and physical, that about of the people. So there are the differing views regarding the treatment of the humans as a resource. One cannot be denied the fact that it is the skills of human that help in the transferring the physical materials into the valuable resources. Wow, that's his good things. So next in the page, I will tell to you what is given in the sense things here. Technology to do so. That is why human beings are the special resource. Peoples are human resources. That's right. Because already I told to you what do you mean from the human resources. So human resources under the humans also come. Education and health helps in the making the people a valuable resource. Yes, this is a resource. The which through we are improving our knowledge and we are able to use the resources for our welfare of life. Improving the quality of the people's skills so that they are able to create more resources is known as human resource development. That's right. Next one is that here, after the completion of this topic, I will come on that the conserving resources. So really students, in the conserving resources, it is a must for our coming successors and also for coming generations. Mona has, yes, nightmare. So I will tell to you what is meaning of this letter. Yes, yes, nightmare means bura sapna. Okay. So Mona had a nightmare. She dreams that all the water on the earth had dried up. Wow, what happened? When over all the water of the earth had dried up and all the trees cut down, there was no shade and nothing to drink. People were suffering and roaming around the air, desperately looking for the food and shade. How is dangerous situation? Once again, I will tell to you the meaning of this line. People were suffering and roaming. Yes, roaming. Roaming means we can say घूमना इधर उधर. Okay, around the a desperately looking. Desperately means we can say बेताब होकर के. What is going there? Okay, desperately. looking for the food and said, she told her mother about the dreams. Amma, can this really happen? She asked. Yes, Amma replied. Of course it can happen. If we are not careful, then even the renewable resources can become the very scarce in small quantity. And now renewable one can be definitely get exhausted. That can finished. What can we do about it? Raju asked. Lots, replied. Using the resources the carefully and giving them time to get renewed is called resources conservation. That's very good answer from the Amma side. Amma told that using the resources carefully, not carelessly, and giving them time to get renewed is called resource conservation. Balancing the needs to use the resources and also to conserve them for the future is called sustainable development. Yes, there are the two and four words. They are very important. I will tell to you balancing the needs to use resources and also conserve them for the future. This is called sustainable development. You have to mark these lines in your book. There are many ways of the conserving resources. Each person can contribute by the reducing consumptions. So we have to less consume over all the naturals, not carelessly. Recycling and reusing things. Ultimately, it makes a difference because all our lives are linked. That evening, the children and their friends made the A packets and shopping bags out of old newspapers, discarded clothes and the baskets from the A bamboo sticks. We will give a few to every the family we know. We know, said Mona. After all, it is for a very good cause, said Mustafa. To save our resources and to keep our earth alive. I am going to be very careful not to waste paper, said Jesse. Many trees are cut down to make paper, she explained. I will see that electricity is not wasted in many houses. So shouted Mustafa, of course we cannot be wasted the electricity. Electricity comes from water and coal. Next in the paragraph, at last, we have to come under some conclusions and to become the very broad knowledge we have to get from these. I will make sure that water is not wasted at home, said Asha. Every drop of water is the precious for our life. This is instruction for not those people, also for us. Together we can make the difference. Tourist and the children. Wow. These are some of the things Mona, Raju and their friends did. What about you? Do you want to do? Of course, we are also want to do. How are you going to help the conserving resources? This is a question from your side. You have to tell the answer of this question your own self from your heart. The future of our planets and its people is linked with our ability to maintain and preserve the life support system that nature provides. Therefore, it is our duty to ensure that all uses of the renewable resources are sustainable, the diversity of life on the earth is conserved, the damage of the natural environmental system is minimized. So that is the instruction and at last of this slide. Have a nice day. That is a good job. 17 दूनी 4 types of resources. Resources are generally classified into two parts. Types of resources classified into two parts: natural resources and man-made resources. What do you mean from the natural resources? The natural resources also are those which are the gain from nature. This is called natural resources. If I will tell you natural resources, there are two parts: renewable resources and non-renewable resources. But from your book, if I say to you about that, the types of resources about, it is a very impressive and in simple language, it is mentioned in your class 8th NCERT book. Let's look at here. I'm going to thoroughly read about. Resources are generally classified into the natural and the human made. First of all, what do you mean from the natural resources? Natural resources are that drawn from nature. Yes, we have to drawn. We have to drawn from nature and used without much modification are called natural resources. Very simple definition. The air we breathe, yes, we breathe. The water which you drink and also available in water, rivers and lakes. The soils, minerals and all natural resources. These are all what? These are all called natural resources. So wow, this is nice examples. Second things, many of these resources are the free gifts of nature for the human beings. Yes, it means that for all things which are the gift as for that, so we have to pay. But these gifts for we have to not be pay any single rupees. It is a free of cost from nature. I will say to you in the next line, in some cases, many of the resources are the free gifts of nature can be used directly. In some cases, tools and technology may be needed to use a natural resource in a best possible way. Yes, of course. Yes, dear students. Of course, let's tell me once again. In some cases, tools and technology may be needed to use a natural resource in the best possible way. Wow, that's very good. So natural resources can be broadly. Natural resources can be broadly categorized into renewable resources and non-renewable resources. What do you mean from the renewable resources? Let's classify about that. Renewable resources are those which get renewed or the replenished quickly. Wow, what is sense of this here, sir? Let's tell me once again. So renewable resources are those which get renewed. So I will tell to you what is the Hindi meaning of renewed. It means that about, I will tell to you, yes, it means has been started once again. Renewed means has been started once again. Renewed or replenished quickly. And what is the meaning of replenished? It means me फिर से भरा हुआ. You should feel once again. Some of these are utilized and some are affected by human activities. So how is it possible? Such as solar and wind energy. We have to use at them for our own necessity through. Like wind, we have to use wind energy for the production of the electricity. Second things, your water. Also it is a part of nature which can be renewable. Yes. Yet careless use of the certain renewable resources like water, like soil, like forest can affect their stocks. Yes, of course. Water seems to be an unlimited renewable resources, unlimited, but shortage and drying up the natural water sources is a major problem in many parts of the world today. So let's explain about that non-renewable resources. What do you mean from this phrase? Non-renewable resources are those which have limited stock. Unlimited not, limited stock. Once the stock are exhausted, it may take thousands of years to be renewed or replenished. Renewed or replenished. So for them, we have to give the thousand of years to be renewed and to be replenished. I told to you what is meaning of replenished. So I will say to you, fill say to fill. Once again to fill. Since this period is much more than human lifespan. Yes, that's right. About that. Space means you can say falna. Okay. So I will say to you, is since this period is much more than humans' life spans. So dear students, in the next page, you have to open the page number, if you have the page number 3. That is in the first paragraph, it is mentioned what is that? Such resources are considered non-renewable like coal, like petrol, like natural gas are some examples which are the best for the non-renewable. At least you have to use once, it cannot be recycled. Second thing, distribution of the natural resources depends upon number of physical factors like terrain, climate, the altitudes. What is the meaning of terrains? You know, terrains means just like it is not, yes, you can say terrains means you can say a part of land. Okay, bhukhand we can say part of land. Climate or altitudes. Distribution of resources is unequal because these factors differ so much over the earth. Okay, so these are about that I told to you natural resources and I explained about that renewable and non-renewable. Next topic for you, that is a man-made resources. Just I draw the picture at here. I mentioned the what are the man-made resources like bridges, like roads, like machinery systems, vehicles and buildings are man-made resources. That is my ideas. So let's explain from your book. Sometimes natural substances become the resources only when their original form has been changed. Iron ore was not a resource until peoples learned to extract iron from it. So what do you know?